It's like almost like defining moments almost.
Yeah, so, I was having a conversation and we were talking about storms and, what comes with storms and how storms operate and how, especially in the Christian faith, but even in the world, we talk about, the things and the trouble that we go through in life as storms.
Exactly.
That's what we call them. That was a storm, right? That's what we ran into. You're in a storm. You're almost out the storm. If you're going through hell, don't slow down. We talk about our setting as a way to better understand what we're going through. Mm-hmm. And in this conversation, I brought up hurricane, saying that, Hurricane Harvey, when it happened, it was the biggest thing in the United States, at least, if not the world.
Yeah.
Everybody cared. People that didn't care usually
found something to care about. It made people, hug their kids a little tighter. It made people speak to people, in passing. It was, people cared. Mm-hmm. We're all trying to figure out what's going on, how to help. Things are going wrong, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, somebody cutting you off didn't hold as much weight. Yeah, because you're like, that's not important right now.
It's not. It's not. And then that comes in the argument, was it ever? Or did you make it important?
I was just going to say, why do we wait till, like, tragedy happens or, like, something bad for everyone to just finally just live, like, have a pure heart, you know?
Man, I'll tell you, there's so many songs about the terrible things that happened on 9/11. Mm-hmm. And then from everybody, and I was a baby, but from every account that I've heard from individuals that were very coherent at that age, they say the world will change. Across the United States, life changed. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, the things that so many Americans took for granted,
they
didn't. Life was real. All of a sudden, your wife giving you some stale cereal wasn't. It didn't matter as much.
Exactly.
Everybody wanted to be home with their family, and was felt for people that didn't. And that's the same thing that happened, in the hurricane. People are just having their homes ripped apart. And that's something that only those people can understand. But the rest of the world wanted to understand, and they tried to understand, and they tried to sympathize because they put themselves in that shoe. Said, "This is what I would feel like if that happened to me." Even if it was an accurate portrayal or not, that was what they were thinking. This is how I would feel. And everybody cared for a week. After that, all of a sudden, everybody else is worrying about the next deadline they have to meet at work.
Just like I said, remember, life goes back, life goes on again.
But the people whose homes were ruined, the people that were affected, they're still there with a broken home. Whether figuratively or literally, a broken home. Right. So that person that's barely making ends meet, that, could barely cover the bills when everything was going right, all of a sudden they have a roof they have to repair that they can't afford.
Or they didn't get that insurance,
Or their car's engine is flooded and they can't get to work. They can't get to work to make the ends meet that they barely made meet beforehand. Mm-hmm.
And that's a tough situation.
So when we have our struggles in life, no matter what our relationship is, whether you're my brother, lover, friend, enemy, it doesn't matter. There's only so much that I can do to help. Only so much I can do. The same way that first responders and companies that deal with tragedies and building things and putting things back together and rescue teams, the way they operate, outside help. Remember, you had people coming from all over the U.S. driving to Texas to help.
Yeah, that was wild.
Dropping what they do and coming to help. When you have people doing that, it's because the help that was required to build that home again was a help that these people couldn't fulfill for themselves. And nobody meets God quicker than somebody that's going through tragedy.
Yep.
So when you put that microcosm for life back in perspective with whatever storm you're dealing with, whether it's a severed relationship or something that you wish was different, or the fact that what you're working through, just you can't seem to get it right. You're able to understand a lot better that you need outside help. Doesn't matter what I want for you. Doesn't matter how bad I want it. Doesn't matter what I can give. At some point, the help that you need is bigger than me. So what do you have to do? You have to understand what you can't do and then say, I need help. And you have to find out where that help is. I'm the way, the truth, and the light. Everything that's good flows through me. You gotta call on somebody. You gotta call that man that you've been avoiding.
Yeah.
Cause you've been at the club instead of church.
Yeah, man. All them times you too tired to wake up in the morning.
Hey, but that's the one number that always answer. It's the one that don't care if you ain't called.
Yeah.
If you don't text back your girl in 4 hours, she gonna say, well, I guess we just single, because obviously you don't care.
I always say that.
I hit a nerve.
No, I'm just saying.
I hit a nerve.
Quick.
But people would often serve their significant other more than they serve God. Is that not true?
That is true. People put a lot into these relationships and stuff like that, and they get, I ain't gonna say they necessarily change, but they put that pedestal will be
all of a sudden the focus that was right here,
mm-hmm. And then you're not thinking so clearly because it's all you worried about. You focusing on.
I mean, there's a reason why there's so much speech about sustaining certain friendships until you're capable to understand things. But back to the message. You have to call on somebody to help you out.
I agree.
Whether it's in the form of a therapist, whether it's a form of a friend, whether it's a form of anything. Could be grass growing through concrete. Whatever God knows is going to resonate with you, that's what has to happen, right? So when we're talking about dealing with life, not just the day-to-day, you have to make it bigger than what it is. And if you don't make things bigger than what they are, then you have to let them be bigger than they are. And that's where the problems come up. So when people are like, oh, well, it's just this, or it's just that. No.
It's never just...
It's never that simple. Man, I'll tell you a quick story. I had a girlfriend that knocked a cinnamon roll out of my hand.
Petty.
And when I tell you, I've never wanted to break up with somebody more.
Behind that cinnamon roll, bro.
Behind that cinnamon roll.
Was it really worth it? This cinnamon roll was even good, bro.
First off, everybody that knows me knows that cinnamon rolls are one of my top 5 favorite things in life.
What cinnamon roll was it though, bro?
It was a Whole Foods cinnamon roll. Now, you may ask what was so special about this Whole Foods cinnamon roll.
If you got it from Whole Foods, it has to be something that's just culture out, bro.
The way that Whole Foods made their cinnamon rolls is they made the entire cinnamon roll, right? Mm-hmm. No icing. They just glazed it, but no icing. And then they put a huge slab of icing on top. Okay. Huge slab. Covered the whole thing. About this thick, right?
Yep.
And if you were smart, you put it in the microwave for about 45 seconds. Okay. When you got the cinnamon roll out, all the icing would melt down into the crevices of the cinnamon roll. It would just flow. It would just flow into these creases of the cinnamon roll. And when you bit into it,
it was everything you needed.
Oh my God! It's the cure for something. I don't know what it was, but it was the cure for something. And I was like, "Hey, do you want a cinnamon roll?" Even though I didn't have another cinnamon roll.
I already know how this going in, bro. What you say? Nah, I'm good.
I said, "Do you want a cinnamon roll?" I didn't ask her, "Do you want my cinnamon roll?" I didn't say, "Do you want this cinnamon roll?" "Do you want a cinnamon roll?" And if she had said yes, I would have said, "Okay, you can have it." And then I would have went around the corner and been so angry. But I wouldn't have let her see that, right? Mm-hmm. She goes, "No, I'm okay." Okay. I get my cinnamon roll. I'm already talking dirty to this thing. This cinnamon roll has no idea what I'm about to do.
You, bro.
No idea. No idea.
For a rude awakening.
Ooh, what dirty things to this cinnamon roll, right? I get it. I sit down on the couch. She doesn't even ask for a bite. Doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
As I pick this cinnamon roll up to take the first bite, the bite I've been thinking about for the past 3 minutes, she grabs and shakes my hand, and the cinnamon roll hits the ground. And when I tell you I've never been more angry in a moment, that was it. And she thought I was mad about the cinnamon roll. Like, legit, she thought I was mad that I lost cinnamon roll. She's like, I'll just get you another. It's like, no. It's a microcosm. I was bright even at 16.
Like I told you. Rise beyond your years, bro.
If you'll knock this cinnamon roll out of my hand, something that you know I love.
You gotta be a sick person.
You know I love cinnamon roll, and you knock it out of my hand.
Petty.
Then you will knock the dream that I love out of my hand.
Fantasy. My boy.
I'm telling you.
The way you built that story up for the cinema, bro, I already know how mad you was when you was like, I'm waiting on this. Something I love to have.
I was so upset.
She just knocked it out your hand.
She was trying to be playful, like, oh, shake it. But anybody that knows good cinnamon roll,
play with your food.
I mean, I had the pinky up.
Bro,
I had the pinky up. Finna go Hamilton.
Fancy.
And she did that, and I was so mad. And she couldn't understand why I was mad. She's like, I'll go buy you some more. It's the principle, right? If this is what you'll do, that means you'll know something that I care about, and you'll try to mess with it. And if you mess with it, and you'll do it just so you can be humored, then you will keep me from what I'm trying to accomplish. That's how it happens. But, that was a probably overhyped story. But that was...
I feel for you and your...
Man, what?
That's the top 5. Like, because, like, think about it. When people eat, I get this, like, especially for me, when I get hungry, bro, I'm sitting there, like, I do a little happy dance, knowing you about to get the food you want. And somebody knock it out your hand, knowing you don't feel like swiping that card again and go...
We're not friends no more.
Like, why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Who made you, bro?
That's like people that mess with me in my sleep. If you mess with me in my sleep, I may or may not conspire to hurt you. I may or may not.
What say conspire?
I might.
You can, like, hey, I'm really, like, upset with you right now.
Again, there are probably 10 things in life that I care about. Total. Like 10 things. Like legit 10.
Cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll, my company. Sure.
Being family.
I'm telling you. About 10 things I care about. So if you mess with any of them, oh my gosh, I am just...
You still live it. Definitely.
Live it?
Yeah, you live it.
I'm ready to... I'm ready to be a dark individual.
Ready to die by now.
Lord knows I love Harpo. But I kill him dead before I let him beat me. Oh man, I can't.
Gosh, yeah.
But shoot, that's probably enough for today, man. How do you feel?
Nah, I like it, bro. I think, yeah.